Start. Yes. What? Pillow. Hair. Yeah. Bonnet. Oh, it's clashing. My patterns are clashing. I can't deal. But it looks good. Hey, how are the lips? I don't see anyone here yet. Yes, I'm totally using you as a mirror. Hi, I just fixed my lipstick. So, hi girl. Hey Randy. Hey everybody. We, got more gifts, we did. Everybody's so nice with the gifts. Booyah. So I'm back. We had Dean. It's Dean Butler's birthday today. Manly. Yes. Happy birthday, Dean Butler. It's like awesome. He read yesterday and he was amazing. I mean, Dean not only read yesterday, he played music. Because he has that Paws Fiddle album. That's all fabulous music from the time of Laura and everything, which he produced because he's a genius. In addition to being blonde, blue-eyed, and gorgeous, and wonderful, and manly, Dean Butler is also a genius. And he works very hard. He works with the Golf Channel in Florida. If you're into golf, I'm not into golf, so I am clueless. I know nothing. But apparently, if you're into golf, there was a thing called the Faraday Show. People who are into golf go, oh, the Faraday Show. Oh, why didn't you say so? I'm like, but there's this dude, Faraday, and he has a show, and it's golf people. It's on the Golf Channel. It's huge. And that's where Dean Butler works. He makes that happen. He makes the Faraday Show happen. He is awesomeness. So I am back now, and yeah, we really loved him yesterday. It was good. And he'll be back again, because there's a bunch of stuff happening he's going to read. Also, he is insistent that he read some of The Long Winter, because Alonzo's in that. There's Alonzo scenes. Soon, yes, Miss Wendy Lou Lee, she's something about mom making a biscuit. I think that's soon. I think that's very soon. I think it's like the Christmas episode. So, yes, this is hot supper things, tin cups, pennies. More of this tin cups and pennies business. Swans down. Yes. Yes, it's all about Grace. All about Grace. So she gets to the Gracie episode for Christmas. And I get another day off. No, because this is really relaxing. Seriously, I took a day off. Why did I take a day off? Because I had my show on Saturday, which was absolutely exhausting. And then I had like all these cameos, and then I had like 4 hours of interviews. And then also, most people now are complaining that, I never get dressed up. I never put on makeup. I'm putting on makeup and doing my hair like every day. It's like, I had to take a day without makeup. So literally, I spent yesterday with like a facial mask on. And I feel, look, my skin, it looks fabulous. I feel so much better. So, we're going to read things. Oh, do I have to do what day is it? What day is it? I had the thing here that tells me what day it is, but I don't remember where I put it. No, don't tell me I don't have my what day is it paper, because every day is like National Who's He What's It Day, and it's totally National Something or Other Day. There it is. Yes, see, okay, I lost it totally. Today, we did that. We did National Pack Rat and Cherry Cobbler. Yeah, we did. Is that it? Do I not have anything? I don't. Wow. Because, yeah, we're past it. We did Pack Rat, we did Cherry Cobbler, we did Idaho, and I don't know what day it is today. I know. Okay, yes, thank heavens. It's Wednesday. It is Wednesday, and it's, the 20th? Already. But what I don't darn it have is my what national day is it. I bet you guys can look it up. I mean, I don't know if it's Cupcake Day. I hope it's Goldfish Day. Maybe it's Goldfish Day. So it's going Christmas. It's Christmas. It'll be Christmas very soon. So I have Goldfish. I'm going into a tiki mode. Sorry. It's warming up. I may do some shows from the yard. I got my tropical tiki. Hi, Bill Graff. I have tiki. Yeah, just saying. So we shall commence reading, but we did get a present. I got this fabulous, now where is it? This gorgeous package. Yes! Look at this. This came in the mail. Marcy Waters, Marcy of East. She's in Pennsylvania. It's fine for you. But Marcy, hi. Anyway, she made this thing. She and her friend, they make jewelry. She made a nightlight. It's a Nellie Oleson nightlight. No, I had this plugged in. Look at this. Look, there's the Nellie. There's the Nellie picture. And it's beautiful beadwork, and it is a totally functional night. I swear, I got this out of the package, and I immediately plugged it in my bathroom, and I was like, ha ha! It's a Nellie nightlight. It's fantastic. So yes, thank you, Marcy, for Nellie nightlight, and thank people sending me candy and goodies. So we're gonna put on our bonnet. Oh, there you go. Thanks, John. It's Rescue Dog Day and Puck Strawberry Day. There you go. Thank you. Is it some... Okay, Melody says it's Be a Millionaire Day. Is that just because you want to? Me too. Let's get those lottery tickets, I say. So it's winter days, according to Laura, even though it's really lovely and warm out and almost summer. So there you go. There you go. Isn't that great? Nellie nightlight. That is the coolest thing. People send me the coolest things, but a plastic glass beaded crystal Nellie nightlight. Nope, that's never happened. I just said, there you go. Quiche, is it? Oh man, it is Quiche Lorraine Day. I knew Quiche Lorraine Day was coming up. I was going, okay. The weather grew colder. Brr. Okay, Dean already did the Surveyor's House and The Last Man Out with all the singing and the fiddle playing. The weather grew colder. Silver Lake was frozen. Brr. Snow fell, but always the wind blew the ice clean, drifting the snow into the tall grass of the sloughs and driving it into waves on the low shores. On the whole white prairie, nothing moved but blowing snow, and the only sound in the vast silence was the sound of the wind. In the snug house, Laura and Carrie helped Ma with the housework, and Grace played, running about the big room with toddling short steps. Okay, my phone is ringing. I like Alison not getting it. Okay. Whenever she was tired of play, she climbed into Mary's lap, for that was the warmest place, and Mary would always tell her a story. See, Grace is starting to get apart in here, so we got to bring in, Wendy Lily. Listening to stories, Grace would fall asleep. Then Ma laid her in her trundle bed by the stove, and they all settled down for a cozy afternoon of knitting and sewing and crocheting. I can sew. I do not know how to knit. People have tried to teach me, and I definitely don't know how to crochet. It was really in when I was a kid. Everyone was crocheting. Pa did the chores and walked the trap line he had set along the edge of the big slough. In the lean-to, he skinned foxes and coyotes and muskrats, and stretched the furs on boards to dry. But no, they trade the furs and they eat the little critters. So it's like it is all poofy. There we go. The prairie was so desolate and the wind so cold that Mary did not go out at all. Well, she's if you recall, she's blind. She doesn't really go anywhere. It's the 1800s. Blind people don't do what they do now and get out and about. So she's home. She loved to sit sewing in the pleasant warm home, taking tiny even stitches with the needle that Laura threaded for her. At twilight, Mary did not put away her sewing. She told Laura, I can sew when you can't see to, because I see with my fingers. That's right, there's no electricity. Again, put on the light to see. They got a little lantern. It's like really hard to sew things. You sew more beautifully than I can any time, Laura told her. You always could. Even Laura liked the cozy afternoon of rocking and stitching and talking a little, though she never would truly enjoy sewing as Mary did. Often, she was restless in the house. Laura is restless, generally. That's like her thing. Then, she would walk from window to window, looking into a whirl of snowflakes and listening to the wind till Ma said gently, I declare I don't know what gets into you, Laura. When the sun shone, no matter how cold it was, Laura must go out. When Ma would let them go, she and Carrie, well wrapped up in coats and hoods with shoes and mittens and mufflers on, went sliding on Silver Lake. Holding hands, they ran a little way and then slid on the dark, smooth ice. First on one foot, then on the other, with little runs between slides, they went back and forth, breathless and warm and laughing. They didn't have ice skates. I'm not sure they could afford ice skates. Ice skating was a thing. By the 1870s, people ice skated. It was like, I don't know if it was like a thing, like it became later, but it was a thing. But there was no store, so they would have had to like go somewhere to purchase ice skates, and they didn't have any money. So unless somebody was taking up like professional hockey or going ice fishing, they had no skates. So you just slid around in their boots. And that lake was really frozen. I don't think they were like scared of falling through. I think that thing was solid, ma'am. Let me have my tiki drink. These were glorious days when they were out in the glitter of the sharp cold. Then it was good to come into the warm, close house, and good to eat supper. And through the evening of music and singing and dancing, Laura was the merriest of all. One stormy day, Pa brought a wide, square board in by the stove, and with his pencil, he marked it off in small squares inside a plain border. "Whatever are you making, Pa?" Laura asked, and he answered, "Wait and see." He heard the tip. He heated the tip of the poker red hot in the stove. That sounds dangerous. Heated the poker red hot in the stove, and carefully he burned black every alternate little square. He's making a game. I think he's making a game. Is he making a game? "Curiosity killed a cat, Pa," Laura said. "You look pretty healthy," said Pa. Tantalizing, he sat there whittling until he had made 24 small squares of wood. Half of them he laid on the hot stove, turning them until they were burned black all over. It's a very primitive way of making something. Then he arranged all these pieces in the squares on the board and set the board on his knee. "Now, Laura," he said. "Now what?" said Laura. "These are checkers." Oh my, he just like invented checkers. "These are checkers, and this is a checkerboard. Pull up your chair and I'll show you how to play checkers." She learned so well that before the storm ended, she had beaten Pa in one game. But after that, they did not play so immoderately. Ma did not care to play, nor Carrie. So after one game, Pa always put the board away. "Checkers is a selfish game," he said, "for only two can play it. Bring me the fiddle, Flutterbudget." He built a checkerboard. Now, I mean, in my world, what checkers, they're round, right? We have round checkers, unless you get those things they call Chinese checkers with the marbles on the big star thing, which is awesome. I love that game. But checkers, square checkers. Yeah, he had to make square checkers, so he just cut up the wood and took like a little wood burning kit and like singed them. He didn't even paint them. He could have painted them, but no, he just burned them until he toasted the wood. So the toasted wood and the plain wood became checkers. But boring. It's checkers boring. When I was a kid, I thought checkers was exciting. Chess is way more interesting than checkers. But you have to learn. It's a little more complicated. A lot of people think it's a lot complicated. It's not. Now, I am no chess mad genius. I'm like, I can play it. And I used to actually be kind of good when I was a kid. But then you don't get in practice. Now, I have a friend, Patrick Loubatier, in France. He's the guy, you know him because you've seen stuff where I do the shows in France. Not only is he a chess champion, he teaches chess to like high school and junior high little kids. Brilliant. He can play chess. And what he's told me and what I understand now from having played chess, the actual game of chess is relatively simple. They have certain moves. The pawns go this way, the queen goes that way. Queen can kind of go anywhere. The bishop goes this way, the rook goes this way, the knight goes that way. That's it. Once you learn the rook, the bishop, the knight, they have their moves. The pawn goes forward one at a time. King and queen can go any direction. King can only go one. There's only like 5 things. You learn those 5 things. That's it. But what combination? And then it becomes strategy and thinking ahead. What's the other guy doing? And then it becomes the most complicated game in the entire world. And people play games that go on for years. And geniuses come up with these chess moves where they can win a game in 3 moves. And it's like amazing. But actually learning chess itself, like what does this piece do? It's basically would take you 10 more minutes than it would take you to learn checkers. It's like that easy. Then playing it, that's another story. You can play it, but can you win at it? I can't, because it's hard. That was a whole chapter. It's like this. So we shall now do wolves, wolves, arr, wolves on Silver Lake. It's okay, I'm safe. I have my nightlight. There came a night when moonlight shone silver clear. The earth was endless white, and the wind was still. Beyond every window the white world stretched far away in frosty glitter, and the sky was a curve of light. Laura could not settle down to anything. She didn't want to play games. She hardly heard even the music of Pa's fiddle. Oh, she loves the fiddle. That means she's really distracted. She did not want to dance, but she felt that she must move swiftly. She must be going somewhere. Okay, she is the most restless girl. She wanted to go west. She didn't want to stay there. Laura is like nomad, gypsy feet. I'm telling you, she's like that girl. I'm surprised she got married. Because that one don't settle down. She wants to go out. Suddenly she exclaimed, "Carrie, let's go slide on the ice." "In the night, Laura?" Ma was astonished. "It's light outdoors," Laura replied, "almost as light as day." "It will be all right, Caroline," Pa said. "There's nothing to hurt them if they don't stay too long and freeze." Ha ha ha. He's right. Yeah, people freezing to death. Ha 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 ha. Like those kids that burn all the furniture. So Ma told them, "You may go for a quick run. Don't stay until you get too cold." See, Laura is very bored and restless because several things are happening. One, she's hitting adolescence. She's like hitting puberty, so she's like really restless. She's always been like Pa, and she can't believe that they haven't gone further west, that they're actually going to try to stay in one place. So she's bored out of her mind. Two, Mary was her big buddy, her little friend, and Mary is now blind and doesn't want to go do anything, and has gotten, frankly, a little stuck up. And then Carrie, thank heavens, is now old enough that she can like talk like a person and play, but she's still kind of little, and Grace is a baby. So yeah, Carrie, and that's the only, she's bored. Girl is bored, but that's okay, because like the next book, boys show up. Yay. So right now there's no one around. So Ma says, "Fine. What? There's nobody there. Go skating in your socks or whatever it is." Laura and Carrie hurried into their coats and hoods and mittens. Their shoes were new and the soles thick. Ma had knit their stockings of woolen yarn, and their red flannel underclothes came down over their knees and buttoned in a snug band around each stocking. It's almost like knickers. They were like, yeah, so those are good and warm. And they have new shoes, remember, because Pa's been making $50 a month doing payroll, so they got shoes. Finally, they're not quite so broke. Their flannel petticoats were thick and warm, and their dresses and their coats were wool, and so were their hoods and mufflers. Okay, I wore cotton, like, in theory, cool petticoats when we're doing the show, and it was so hot, I thought I would die. It was so hot. So I cannot imagine what flannel petticoats were like. So, out of the warm house, they burst into the breathtaking air that tingled with cold. They ran a race on the snowy path down the low hill to the stables. Then they followed the path that the horses and the cows had made when Pa led them through the snow to water at the hole he had cut in the lake ice. Those poor cows, that must have been so cold. Can you imagine being a cow? Moo, moo, moo. Ah! Like freezing water. Poor cow. "We mustn't go near the water hole," Laura said, and she led Carrie along the lake shore until they were well away from it. Then they stopped and looked at the night, because Carrie tends to fall in holes. Did everyone see the episode when Carrie fell in the mine shaft? Poor Carrie. Carrie falls in holes. So don't be near that hole. No, it's not, because she'll fall in it. She will find a way. It was so beautiful that they hardly breathed. The great round moon hung in the sky, and its radiance poured over a silvery world. Far, far away in every direction stretched motionless flatness, softly shining as if it were made of soft light. In the midst lay the dark, smooth lake, and a glittering moon path stretched across it. Tall grass stood up in black lines from the snow drifted in the sloughs. Aw, that's pretty. The stable lay low and dark near the shore, and on the low hill stood the dark, small surveyor's house, with the yellow light in the window twinkling from its darkness. "How still it is," Carrie whispered. "Listen how still it is." Wow, yeah, Carrie's really progressed. I'm pleased to see that. sniffling here. Laura's heart swelled. She felt herself a part of the wide land, of the far deep sky and the brilliant moonlight. She wanted to fly, but Carrie was little and almost afraid, so she took hold of Carrie's hand and said, "Let's slide. Come on, run." With hands clasped, they ran a little way. Then, with right foot first, they slid on the smooth ice much faster than they had run. Like sliding on a slick floor. "On the moon path, Carrie. Let's follow the moon path," Laura cried. Getting kind of spooky here. And so they ran and slid again on the glittering moon path into the light from the silver moon. Farther and farther from shore they went, straight toward the high bank on the other side. They swooped and almost seemed to fly. If Carrie lost her balance, Laura held her up. If Laura was unsteady, Carrie's hand steadied her. It's working out. Close to the farther shore, almost in the shadow of the high bank, they stopped. Something made Laura look up to the top of the bank. Remember, there's like no people. Like everybody's gone home. The camp, all the railroad workers are gone. So it's just her family. She's totally isolated again. And there, dark against the moonlight, stood a great wolf. Oh, not the wolves again. Now, Dean was going on about wolves yesterday. There were wolves in yesterday's store, and they were huge. They were like abnormally large. They weren't Minnesota wolves or Kansas wolves. Kansas wolves were huge, but they weren't Minnesota or Wisconsin or Kansas wolves. They were gigantic Dakota wolves, and they were actually more huge. So is it that? Because that would be bad. Because she's very big. Ooh. So, yikes. He was looking toward her. The wind stirred his fur, and the moonlight seemed to run in and out of it. "Let's go back," Laura said quickly, as she turned, taking Carrie with her. "I can go faster than you." She ran and slid and ran again as fast as she could, but Carrie kept up. "I saw it too," Carrie panted. "Was it a wolf?" "Don't talk," Laura answered. "Hurry." So she knows it's like that. It's a wolf. Laura could hear their feet running and sliding on the ice. She listened for a sound behind them, but there was none. Then they ran and slid without a word until they came to the path by the waterhole. As they ran up the path, Laura looked back because she saw nothing on the lake nor on the bank beyond. Laura and Carrie did not stop running. They ran up the hill to the house, opened the back door, and ran into the lean-to. They ran across that, burst through the door into the front room, and slammed it shut behind them. Then they leaned against it, panting. Pa sprang to his feet. "What is it?" he asked. "What has frightened you?" "Was it a wolf, Laura?" Carrie gasped. "It was a wolf, Pa," Laura gulped, catching her breath. "A great big wolf, and I was afraid Carrie couldn't run fast enough, but she did." "I should say she did," Pa exclaimed. "Where is this wolf?" Well, you know that joke. How are you going to outrun that cheetah? I don't have to run faster than a cheetah. I just have to run faster than you. Buffalo wolves. Yesterday, Dean was reading, and she said, Pa explained that they were buffalo wolves, and they were gigantic. And so really, Laura didn't have to run faster than wolves. She just had to run faster than Carrie. Evil. Poor Carrie. No, Carrie ran very fast. She did not get eaten by a wolf. And she didn't fall in a hole, so she was doing really well. "Where is this wolf?" "I don't know, it's gone," Laura told him. Ma helped them take off their wraps. "Sit down and rest. You're all out of breath," she said. Where was the wolf? Paul wanted to know. "Up on the bank," Carrie said, and Laura added, "the high bank across the lake." "But did you girls go clear there?" Paul asked in surprise, "and ran all the way back after you saw him? I had no idea you would go so far. It's a good half-mile. They were told, again, to like stay near that house kind of thing. "We followed the moon path," Laura told him. Paul looked at her strangely. "You would," he said. "I thought those wolves had gone. It was careless of me. I'll hunt them tomorrow." It's gonna kill them. Oh, they're liking the umbrella. Yeah, it's, I ordered these. There's a place, it's Oriental Trading Company. They sell party supplies, even the party supplies. And it's actually, I have the little parasol, but this is the plastic straw with parasol attached. And this is the, let me get my parasol here before it falls onto the floor. the set of 4 tiki glasses. They're lovely. There's 4, and they are in fact slightly different. They're kind of awesome. So I got tiki glasses, and they're not even plastic. They're like real. And I'm going to, when it gets warm, sit in the yard and play Hawaiian music, and because I'm cray-cray. Oh no! So she almost gets eaten by a wolf, and Paul says he's going to go kill it, and it'll be great. Mary sat still, but her face was white. "Oh, girl," she almost whispered, "suppose he had caught you." Then they all sat silent, while Laura and Carrie rested. Laura was glad to be safe in the warm room with the desolate prairie shut out. If anything had happened to Carrie, it would have been her fault for taking her so far across the lake. Well, when it happened, she would have been eaten in one bite. But nothing had happened. She could almost see again the great wolf with the wind ruffling the moonlight on his fur. "Pa," she said in a low voice. "Yes, Laura," Pa answered. "I hope you don't find the wolf, Pa," Laura said. Why ever not?" Ma wondered. "Because he didn't chase us," Laura told her. "He didn't chase us, Pa, and he could have caught us." A long, wild wolf howl rose and faded away on the stillness. "Arrrrrr!" Another answered it, then silence again. "Arrrrrr!" Laura's heart seemed to turn over with a sickening flop, and she found herself on her feet. She was glad of Ma's steadying hand on her arm. "Poor girl, you are nervous as a witch, and no wonder." What did Ma just, what did you call me? Apparently Ma just said, "You are nervous as a witch." I did not know that was a thing. Is that a thing? And no wonder. Ma took a hot flat iron from the back of the stove, wrapped it tightly in a cloth, and gave it to Carrie. "It is bedtime," she said. "Here is the hot iron for your feet." Yeah, it gets really cold. It's really cold in the Dakotas, and they're cold in that house. And they would do that. They would heat up things and wrap them in. Of course, if you took the cloth off, you'd burn your feet all to nothing. "And here's yours, Laura." She wrapped another. "Be sure you put it in the middle of the bed so Mary's feet can reach it too." As Laura shut the stair door behind them, Pa was talking earnestly to Ma. But Laura could not hear what he said for the ringing in her ears. Well, you know how it goes. He was probably saying, "Oh, Ma, Caroline, it's okay. Those girls, they didn't get eaten. They didn't freeze to death. They didn't die. It's all's well that ends well." And Ma's probably going, "Charles, we can't let these girls out of the house. They're hopeless. They're going to get eaten by a wolf. What are we going to do?" So yeah, Laura's cray-cray. She is out on the town. So the next chapter will be tomorrow. Pa finds the homestead, and there's pictures of wolves. So there's more wolves, and then it's Christmas. It's Christmas Eve, and then it's night before Christmas, and then it's Merry Christmas, and then more happy winter days. See, this is the nice winter. Upcoming is the book The Long Winter, where they almost starve to death, and it's horrible. Whereas this is the nice winter, where they have food and heat. So you'll want these memories for when it's the horrible winter in the next book. But soon, I'm going to check which is the chapter, the Grace thing that Miss Wendy Lee wants to do, and we will have her do that. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Marcy, Waters, and okay, this. I laughed at no. I got this first. I went, "Oh, what pretty packaging!" And I opened this up, and I literally screamed. I laughed. So I went, "Bah!" And my husband comes in the room and goes, "Why are you?" I'm hearing hysterical laughter. What is going on? And he went, "Bah ha ha," and plugged this in, and it's hysterical. We love it. Got my tiki drinks. What else? Oh, and still, yes, Riskowitz, Ms. Angela Riskowitz of Florida with the candy. Still, because it'll take me forever. It'll be Christmas before I finish this. Thank you, Ms. Riskowitz. And so, yes, tomorrow, all's well that ends well. Hey, stuff's opening back up. Some places and businesses, a couple people going back to work. Slowly, very carefully. My husband's at work. A couple more people coming back with one thing, and then the sanitizer, and super duper careful. And I'm here, and I will be here tomorrow. And we'll have more readings. Like I said, we'll have Wendy and we'll have Dean come in, and yeah, things are going on. There's this whole living on a prairie shenanigans that's about to start. It's just awesome. So go on Facebook and look for Livin', that's Livin apostrophe, Livin' on a Prairie with Pamela Bob. And you look that up. It's, oh my, it's so good. So that's a thing. Oh, look at this. One of my ancestors was hung during the Salem witch trials. Eek, see? Nervous as a witch. There you go. That's why. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care and wash your hands. See you tomorrow.